Is your inner compass spinning in circles where you don't have the arrow pointing north, your magnetic north, where you and your soul are wanting to go into? You might have a sense of what that direction is, and yet that arrow is constantly spinning. We're going to talk about that in this video, but we're also going to be talking about this solar eclipse in Aquarius, how that is going to be affecting us at the human collective level, as well as individually, and how you can navigate these energies in your life to work with them, to alchemize them. So this journey of returning back to wholeness, especially for any traumas that are surfacing for you at this time, as well as this next 6 months to come. Because eclipses are crossroads moments. This is when we get soul checked. Are we going in the direction that we are meant to go into? And if not, whoop, you can have the experience of getting the rug ripped out from you. Or suddenly you are at the crossroads and you need to make a choice. So we're going to go into all of what this means for this upcoming eclipse, as well as our Chinese New Year, weaving in those energies. And because, of course, we can't stop there, we are having our Saturn-Neptune conjunction, finally, in Aries, on the Aries point. This is massive astrology, and my words are not going to do any justice to how big and intense and far-reaching this is, but I will do my best. So first off, please stick around. This is not going to be a short video because we are going to be talking about some very deep human evolutionary themes. We're talking thousands of years of cycles that are coming up to be reviewed right now. So hang tight with me. It is a lot, but I assure you it will be very helpful on your own healing journey. And if you find this video very useful, please give it a thumbs up. Please share this to anyone you feel that could benefit from these messages and understanding what the heck is happening in their life and why. And if you or anyone else you know is wanting a deeper understanding of their life and how to work with what is happening to them, again, alchemize, please reach out. You can go to my website at chrissywhistler.com. I offer one-on-one astrology readings, oracle, intuitive readings, and channeling, as well as additional support like quantum healing. So if you are interested in any of that, please go there. And I just want to say as well how deeply grateful I am to you for being here at this moment in time. As hard as it is, as much is coming up to be seen right now and to be witnessed. And those of you who are tuning in, you are doing big, big work. And I want to say thank you. Because it is not an easy time, and yet somehow you keep showing up anyway. And you keep picking yourself up off of that floor. So just know that I'm giving and sending such immense gratitude to you. Because this is potent astrology, and we're going to start bringing that in. So I started this video off by speaking about this spinning compass. I did do a short astrology energy update video, which I will link for you. So if you want to know this particular moment in time and that culmination, why it is so intense, go there for a deeper dive. But just to bring us in and to ground us right now, our compass is spinning. We don't know what direction we are going to be going into yet. And that's because there's so much truth that needs to be unmasked, that needs to be seen. This is the truth of our society, how our society has been structured for thousands of years as we transitioned out of the matrilineal ways of being where the feminine and women were honored as these goddesses because they magically bore children, and that transition into patriarchy, into this distorted, inverted world where it became about the top dog. Who holds the power? That top of the pyramid structure, where anything that is emotional, that is holding the divine feminine energy of even listening, or this cyclical understanding of how we operate, of life itself. That's all the feminine energy, including our earth. All of that has been demonized. This inversion of what she is, this oppression and repression of her. The yin feminine way of being. And this includes being in balance with the masculine energy. So deeper themes that are really coming up for us. And you're going to start to see what I mean as we move through these astrologies. But just know that's kind of this baseline foundation that is getting cracked open right now, especially with Pluto now being in Aquarius. Those early degrees, 4 degrees into Aquarius, where there's been this oppression from society, Capricorn, or systems and structures. This locked steel box, and Pluto is the grenade inside. And I'm referencing Jeff Green's work here. And as Pluto leaves Capricorn and goes into Aquarius, it is that moment when the grenade goes off and completely decimates that steel box. So this pressure and this intensity that you're feeling right now is that grenade in the box. And it hasn't gone off yet. And yet, can you feel it? That it will be going off. We don't know how or why or when. Well, we have some ideas because I'm going to be speaking about that. But the exact ignition point, what that thing is going to be, we don't fully know yet. We've got some ideas, but we don't know and when it's going to be happening, though it does very much feel like it's soon, especially with this astrology. Okay. So there is this unmasking that is happening. I'm specifically speaking to the trine between Pluto and Aquarius and Uranus. This seed planting moment when these two came together, Uranus and Pluto, this happened in the late 60s, 1966. And that was when we had the whole hippie movement, this civil rights, the rising of the feminist movement as well, right? This make love, not war rhetoric. This was the seed that was planted. And obviously it didn't bear fruit because it wasn't meant to yet. Now, though, we are in this trine, and that trine is going to become exact again once Uranus goes back into Gemini in early April. So once again, we're working with cycles and cycles here. That trine between Uranus and Pluto is the unmasking. We need to see humanity for what humanity actually is. This is what the Aquarius solar eclipse new moon is going to be speaking of. So again, keep this in your background of your mind. We are unmasking to see ourselves as individuals and the collective humanity, the human species, for what it actually is. This energy, especially when we bring in the Neptune-Saturn conjunction that's almost finally here, new cycle beginning, we're on this roller coaster. And right now we are at the very top and we haven't gone over it yet. But just think about it. If you have been on a roller coaster before and you're hanging on and you are looking around you, you can see the entire landscape. Everything around you, you might even be able to see where you parked your car, right? You can see everything. That is what this is happening with this unmasking. These old conditionings, these old distorted truths of our society, Neptune, Saturn, are falling away, and we are seeing it from this higher vantage point, this higher mind perspective. And not only are we seeing this truth, we are also seeing the interconnectedness of all things, how each of us are networking together, how your experience has a reflection and connection to mine and so forth all over the world. So like when I speak about what's happening here in the United States, this is not just about the United States, especially when it comes to this pathological, malignant narcissist who is our president, and the narcissist around him, shaping this reality that he wants with their words. This is not a singular event, only speaking to the United States. This is speaking to every other country in the world where there is a mirror and there is a reflection. This is also speaking to our own family units and how businesses and corporations have been constructed in this image, this mirror reflected relationship with the narcissist and the codependence, where instead of it being this community and helping each other up, it's the inversion. There is a top dog who has all the power, who takes center stage, and everybody else falls in line until you get to the base, the bottom, and these people don't matter at all. So take a moment and think about your life and how these reflections are coming forward for you, because it's really, really important to see what is actually true, what is actually real. When we do that work of seeing this truth, Aquarius, and bringing in this divine discontent as this bullshit isn't working, let's start to experiment and make it better. This is how we are going to be building this new world, this pushing us into our spiritual mastery to make it real. The dreams that we have, but we can't just dream from the ethers, we have to make it real. It has to be seen for what it actually is, and part of that process is doing the trauma work. Going into ourselves to see from this higher vantage point that interconnectedness of our societies, our institutions, corporations, businesses, companies, how they are run, and it's like, ooh, this isn't working. This isn't the way that is supportive to the most people. Where are these rotting roots of patriarchy, of misogyny, racism, ableism that is alive in our human species that we can now finally see because of this unmasking. Where is that in me? Where is that in you? That is what we are really, really being called to go into right now. And that journey of that unmasking is not going to slow down. This is going to be like a rocket ship. So there's several different elements that I'm speaking to right now. If you know astrology, you know I'm speaking about the Aquarius-Uranus energy. We need to go into our traumas gently and holding a safe space. Jupiter in Cancer, this remembering of this magnifying glass to highlight what is not safe so we can find and build what is. And as we have that safe space, there's a necessary journey of thawing, of unfreezing and untangling our traumatic experiences, to go into the trauma and to witness it. That is how we heal. So we're not replaying the same loops, the same cycles of the past. We are returning back to wholeness, but we have to go into the trauma that we may have, what is that word? Disassociated from. What's happening in our world right now, more than likely, is triggering your trauma responses that you didn't even know were there. This can be taking you all the way back to your childhood. But because we're speaking about Uranus and Aquarius, especially at this solar eclipse, with Uranus, who just stationed direct on February 3rd, we are going into our long-term memory. We are going into past life memory that is deeply buried in your unconscious. And again, there is a surfacing of this. There is a need to unmask and to see what that is. So it's a healing journey that we're being invited into. That's one layer of this, okay? Being at that roller coaster, seeing all the distortions in our world, society, that interconnectedness between all of us, the networking, the net of life. There's also what is coming next. You're at the top of that roller coaster and you cannot see down. My teacher, Timothy Halloran, has been really speaking about this metaphor of the roller coaster, and it is so on point. Again, you can see the whole landscape around you, but you cannot see the track, especially if you're at the back, right? They're the people at the front, and they're holding on and they're looking down. Let me know if you've had that experience on a roller coaster and you're just like, oh shit. Like your heart is in your gut and it's like, what the fuck did I just get myself into? More than likely, if you're watching this video, you guys, you are with me at the top, the front of that roller coaster, and you're just like, I just have to hold on. Now you can start to see what is coming. The tracks, the dips, the turns, the twists. And then, of course, you can't see beyond what's in front of you. Like, that is the energy of this exact moment in time. And then behind us, we have the rest of society. Consensus society. 75% of the population who was unable to think for themselves, they will be riding the coattails of those of us at the front of the roller coaster. The way showers, the way pavers, these torchbearers that you and I are, they're going to follow behind us, okay? But we're the ones that are going to be leading the way. And yet we also cannot see what is coming. So let me know if you are feeling that right now. This is very much this Aquarius solar eclipse, this is also our Neptune-Saturn conjunction on the Aries point. Our entire world is crumbling and dissolving. We are in the midst of a complete rebirth, but we haven't gone through the other side of it yet. The baby hasn't been born. We're in the birthing pains process. It's going to start to get, I'll say, easier as we come into early summertime. And I say easy, not that our world is going to be easy. It's not. But easy in the sense that you can see the track of the roller coaster. Or easy in the sense of, at this moment right now, your compass is spinning in circles and all of a sudden, boom, you have that arrow pointing north and now you know where you are going. Not the full way. You don't have the map telling you to go A to B to C to D and so forth. That's not the reality we're in right now. So just relax as best as you can and let go of that need. This is about surrendering to this journey. North Node in Pisces. We must surrender to what is. What is the twist and turn of your moment in life? And to go with that. As I said, big, big energies. This solar eclipse is going to be ruled by Uranus in Taurus, square to the sun and moon in Aquarius. This is a deep creative tension that is saying you cannot go in the direction that you are going any longer. You must make a change. These squares, these tensions, they are so strong that you cannot help but see them. And the more you try to disassociate, to go into the delusion, the tighter and the stronger that pressure is going to become. So see how this is going to be playing out in your life and in the world. Obviously, in your life, you have more agency, more sovereignty, where you can look at whatever the thing that's happening for you, look it in the face and meet that energy. Compared to our world and the leaders in our world who are going to try to hide and keep the stuff that's happening secret, and they're not going to be able to. That pressure is going to tighten. Remember, the grenade in the steel box, the grenade will go off. And oh my goodness, when it does, everything that we know will change. Our beliefs, our constructs, even the structures of our consciousness are being shattered in this moment. And I say that, keep in mind that having grace for yourself and others around you is so important. You can be absolutely mad and frustrated and angry. Also have compassion. Even those people who are committing, we'll say, evil, dark acts, they were being put on that journey by their soul. They are playing this role. Also know that their entire inner world is being shattered. So we can still hold compassion even as we are being called to really stand and anchor into our energy and our anger right now. It's about holding both, coming from a place of deep love and compassion and curiosity for their experience. And it's anchoring into our hearts and saying, fuck no, that is not okay. The harm that you are causing to other human beings, that is not okay, and I will not stand for it. So, I'm just looking at my notes so much. Do not bypass do not spiritually bypass. I am witnessing other astrologers, other spiritual leaders right now, and so much of their message has been, don't look over there, don't pay attention to what's happening in the world, because that's where your energy is going to go, and we don't want to create more of that. There is truth to that. But what I'm speaking of is there is a need for balance. There's a need to balance the feminine and the masculine. There is a need to balance what it is that we are here to create and build, and to those others out there to say this: how the hell do you think we're going to get to build this thing if you do not have those who are standing up in their power and saying no? Because guess what? The people in power are really going to want to keep their power. You know, here in the States, the civil rights didn't happen because our government said, you know what? The rights of Black people matter, so let's go ahead and give it to them. Or the rights of women matter. Let's allow them to have their own checking account for their banks, instead of having to go through their husband or their father. That happened because the people rose up and said, this is not okay. We are going to just stand and demand that we have equal rights. That is needed now. And that is what this Saturn in Aries, Neptune in Aries is helping us to remember and to honor our anger. To come into a new healthy relationship with Aries. With our anger. With the warrior that is inside of us, not the distorted warrior that has been the story for thousands of years. Can you see and feel into? There is a healing of that, of this divine masculine that exists within inside of each of us. Every one of you has Mars in your birth chart. Every one of you and me has Aries in my birth chart. We need to honor this part of ourselves, this part of humanity, of our collective human story. What we are being called into is this new way of doing Aries, to honor, to defend, to protect. That when the scary thing knocks at the door, it is Aries within inside of ourselves that goes and opens that door to face whatever threat that is, to protect those behind us, because we have the strength and the courage to do so. This Aries energy is the way showers, the way pavers, those who are brave enough and courageous enough to go where others dare not go. That is what is being awakened right now. Do not bypass this moment. Allow your anger to have its place, to honor it. And as I said, it's also about balance. To say hell no and me coming from a place of compassion. Taking a deep breath, because wow, our nervous systems are on massive overwhelm right now. And if you're in those loops, it's okay. This is the energy, this is the moment, this is the thing. If you're feeling hypervigilant, where you're constantly needing to check the news, again, I don't want to shame that part of you. You are constantly checking the news to see what the hell this guy just did next, because you are in a trauma response. This trauma, again, long-term memory that's going far beyond this single moment in time. This can be taking you to your childhood or even much further back. So honor that. Sit with that part of yourself. This is about re-healing and reconnecting these fragmented parts of ourselves. And this is not getting so lost in all the crazy shit that's happening in our world that you are not creating what it is that you are here to create. This is about honoring both, coming into this new balance. I'm being reminded, so many messages that I've been receiving have been around this moment in time being so challenging. The fear, not feeling safe. And even within that liminal space between worlds, we don't know what's going to happen next. To still find that space to create, to have that possibility and potential. What might happen next? Anchor into that as much as you can, even if you are in that space of fear, again, trauma. Can you get a little bit extra space and wonder and dream? What is possible from here? From that space of nothingness, from the void. So, I was speaking so much about anger. This anger is necessary. It's needed to go into that anger. This eclipse, I'm going to start to bring in some of the other the astrology elements. I'm just pulling up my chart. Okay, so this eclipse is 28 degrees of Aquarius. Mars is in Aquarius as well at 19 degrees, so it's a bit wide. I can just feel oh, there's a lot of pressure building. We'll see if that comes through and clears. Mars is at 19 degrees Aquarius, so it's a bit wide to be conjunct, but you can feel the theme. Again, there is this returning back into our anger, this honoring of our anger, this honoring of that divine discontent that this bullshit of our society and world isn't working. Let's make it better. Let's experiment. Let's go into the wilderness and see where it takes us and start carving out these new paths. This revolutionary energy, so highlighted right now, and it's not slowing down at all. We need to make a change. It has to happen. Mars is also ruling that Neptune and Saturn, which I was speaking to. So there's this, gosh, you can just feel this energy, this flow. We cannot go in the direction we've been going any longer. There is a change that is coming. So don't keep holding on to the old. That's very much in the field right now. It's not going away. It's not slowing down. Also really want to bring in that we have Chiron and Eris. They are in Aries as well as Ceres as well. Ceres, Chiron, Eris. What is all that meaning? And they are, let me see. Okay. This is about healing that divine anger. Where have we been wounded in our anger? Eris is going to continue to create discord and disharmony until we get it right. This call to rise up and reclaim that within inside of ourselves, this this instinctual power. Can you feel it? Where is your desires taking you? And this honoring and this nurturing of our anger. So this real healing around this. And as I said, there is this patriarchy, this narcissism, misogyny, all within our society, the backbone of our society. We're being called to wake up to it. That's where we're being going into. Now, let's take a step back. Let's talk about the generational story. Here we have the Pluto in Leo generation, the baby boomers, who have had this crushing grip on power, where they have refused to let it go, to offer it to the coming generations. They're holding on to this wealth, to the land itself, the resources, again, the power, this complete stranglehold, and they have society on this this stranglehold. And the rest of us are just struggling to survive. You know, I've been in deep conversations around this reality. The reality of my parents' generation, the fact that they could buy a house, their mortgage payment compared to our rent. We do not own land. We do not own our homes because we can't, because that cost millions of dollars. And yet for them, it cost $40,000 or $70,000, where one person could work and support the entire family and still go on nice vacations. That is not the reality of the world anymore. The Pluto and Leo generation has a completely different reality to the rest of us. And they're refusing to see that reality the rest of us are living in. So there is this clash, this tension. It's not going to give way until we get to this new change. What's interesting too is the Pluto and Leo generation, they had so much stability because of their parents. The Pluto in Cancer generation, they gave them that safety, that security in their homes. They made the world safe through World War II, right? That the Pluto and Leos could be their creative selves. They created the society we are in. And yet now for the rest of us, I'm at the tail end of the Pluto and Libras. Pluto and Scorpios, they don't have safety. They don't have stability. They are struggling to survive. How is it possibly safe enough for them, for me to create? Leo, when you are struggling to survive, that is the dichotomy. That is the moment, this clash between worlds. And I bet you can feel which of those worlds is going to win. It's the generations to come. Those are the generations that are rising up to say, this is not working. Your world and your reality is not the reality of this actual moment in time. And it doesn't matter how much you change and distort reality with your words, it's not going to change what I need to pay when I go to the grocery store. The cost of foods, the cost of goods, the cost of living. Affordability crisis is not fake news, right? So everything that I'm speaking to, and I know it is so much, this is the massive global shift that is coming. This is the tension of our Aquarius solar eclipse square to Uranus and Taurus. Uranus, who just stationed direct and is completing this 7-year journey. This transformation of money itself, of land, of resources. And as I said at the very beginning, this is an unmasking. We are shaking free of the distortions of society, Capricorn, of even what true worth and value actually is. If you are having money problems right now or struggling with money, this is so on point for this moment. Again, you can see it in the world structure itself. This is where we are because it needs to be seen. We need to bring it out of the shadows and to witness it. Okay, I know this is so much. The United States is absolutely going to be front and center around this solar eclipse. Keep in mind as well that these solar eclipses, all the eclipses, carry forward for the next 6 months. So this is like a gong that's going to be vibrating out until we get to the next eclipse cycle. This solar eclipse is conjunct the United States moon, which is the people. Oh, goodness, thank God. I cannot tell you how uncomfortable that is to be holding in that energy. Let's clear that shit, right? The people are going to be rising up and demanding truth. Again, this bullshit of our society and our country, our governments is not working. It's going to be echoing far and wide. I imagine we're really going to be seeing this as well around the Epstein files. Again, this truth that is coming through around the elites. Remember the grenade, the steel box going off. Very, very much highlighted right now. All right, coming back into the energy of Uranus and Taurus. Uranus is ruled by Venus. I should say, Taurus is ruled by Venus. She is in Pisces and she is conjunct the north node of the moon. This is a very beautiful energy. So even though there's going to be this turbulence, this financial eruptions, seismic eruptions, Uranus and Taurus, this is earthquakes, complete global economic shifts and upheavals. Uranus Aquarius is what you don't see coming. That rug getting ripped out from you, the lightning bolt, that's this energy. So even though there are these sudden upheavals and economic shifts, value shifts, worth, self-esteem, right? This is also being very beautifully supported with Venus and Pisces. This is about, as we go through that, coming back into our heart of hearts. This being broken open. Pisces can be natural disasters even. What we do not have control of. Helping to return us back to our humanity, our empathy. This being cracked open to remember who we truly are as a human species. That is what this North Node in Pisces, one of the energies, is asking us to go back into. We need to go into this. This is that returning back to God, Goddess, Source, this surrendering, this faith, holding faith, coming back in what truly matters. And it's Venus. It is the divine feminine. Source, God, Goddess, the mother. This divine feminine energy who has been completely distorted and inverted. Money is resources. Money is Venus, the feminine. And how does our world and society view the feminine? So can you see how this upheavals, this grenade in the steel box in all the ways it's going to be, is actually leading us back to this missing part of ourselves, this returning back to faith? Can we come back into the flow of what is in any given moment in time, as opposed to our current world structures? You work 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. You just go, 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 go. That is not our actual nature. Our nature is cyclical. It is ebb and flow and changing. Also conjunct Venus and the North Node is Pallas Athena. She is also this energy of the Lady Justice, revolutionary, this brilliant, intuitive, objective mind. Her story, just like Venus, has been inverted through our patriarchy. Who she once was, even within her mythology, was distorted as the strength of patriarchy grew. And there is a returning back to what it is that she holds, that we hold within inside of ourselves. So there's this returning back to her, this divine feminine that is coming back online as our patriarchy systems destabilize. She is rising, and she is also rising within inside each of us. All right, let me just see. That's right, Gong Gong, one of the dwarf planets, is also conjunct Pallas Athena. So this spiritual, this wizardry, this wizard mastery, this ability to channel. We can see at its lower expression this banging your head against the mountain, expecting different results. That's not the way to do it, and we are absolutely going to see people in our world or people in our lives doing that. So just kind of know, like, there is this, again, this letting go and letting God, right? Going with the flow of what is and working with that energy, going with it to alchemize that and honoring our intuition, our inner wisdom, as well as that rising up, that Lady Justice energy coming back online. Just to sort of let you know as well, Mercury is also in Pisces. Mercury will be going retrograde on March 20th. February 26th. Mercury goes retrograde. Stations direct on March 20th. Mercury is going to station right where Venus and the North Node in Pisces is right now. So this is a really powerful energy. And I hope you can kind of feel into this. Even as you, please know, I've only scratched the surface for as long as this video has been. Just take it all in, see what's coming in your life, and how can you work with this moment? Working with the energies, going within to your own traumas, to recognize that they are even traumas. You are not broken. There is not anything wrong with you. You have wounds that need to be seen and held and tended to. This moment, right now, your compass might still be spinning in circles, but your arrow is going to come online. where you are meant to go, what you are meant to do. That is coming. And know that even when your arrow points north and you know, okay, this is the direction I'm going in, that it's going to be changing. Because that is the energy of this Aquarius solar eclipse. That is the energy of that Saturn-Neptune conjunction. Finally, that's happening 3 days after, after this eclipse. You're going to have your north, whatever that is for you, and know there are twists and turns coming. Your north, wherever that is pointing you towards, will continue to deepen and unfold. Go with the mystery of whatever that is for you. Wow, this is a lot. I truly hope that this has been helpful and grounds you into this moment in time in your life, as well as what the hell is happening in our world, why it's all so dark, and that you can navigate through this, even as we are in that unknown space still. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Please share this with your friends. And if you need one-on-one support and you want to know how this solar eclipse is hitting you and in your life, and in how to work with it to heal those traumas, to see why they're there, and then to heal them, please reach out. Again, chrissywhistler.com. I am here to support you, to help you on your healing journey, however it is that you need. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care through this powerful moment in time. Bye-bye.